Welcome everybody to the Latin Nerds Network. My name is Jose and this is my review for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, the sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife, a movie that surprised me. I really enjoyed that film. That was really well made, being a true sequel to, of course, the original Ghostbusters franchise, which I was a big fan of. And they did a good job of kind of reintroducing this franchise back to, I guess, a new generation, if you will. A good blend of new and old nostalgia in there. I really enjoyed it. So I was looking forward to this one. I gotta say overall, I was kind of disappointed, and I hate saying that because I am a fan of the franchise, but this one just didn't quite hit the mark. Not a terrible film, but it's definitely one, as the kids would say, very mid. And I think a lot of missed opportunities and all, just a lot of things that kind of bothered me overall. But in a word, I'll say it's kind of underwhelming here. Now, of course, we have here, the Spengler family, coming back again. Of course, we got the daughter and the granddaughter, of course, Spengler, Phoebe Spengler, the granddaughter, and Paul Rudd joining them, all moving to New York now. Now they're just regular Ghostbusters full time, if you will. And there's a new threat, to the planet, formed some kind of deity or god or whatever that uses, the ice and fear to destroy everything and yada, yada, yada. And so now they're tasked to try to stop them, of course, when they use the help of some, the old guard here with, Dan Aykroyd coming back, of course, and, Ernie Hudson, of course, Bill Murray returning, reprising their roles as the original Ghostbusters, and they all kind of team up to try to bring this new threat down, and et cetera, et cetera. And listen, I gotta say, first and foremost, I think if you're a diehard fan of Ghostbusters, you probably might like this. I mean, this is just like such a big fat dump of nostalgia, just memories all over the place, almost too much. Even like Bill Murray's character, and I love Bill Murray. I adore the guy. I really do. A big fan of his, and I loved him, obviously in Ghostbusters. But he was just so shoehorned in here. I mean, he was unnecessary. There's the first scene he was in. Fine, I get it. Then at the end, he's just kind of there, and he was just made to get in. He didn't even care. He had a couple, what was supposed to be good one-liners, which didn't quite hit. Which is consistent with the rest of the film. The humor just wasn't quite there. I mean, there were some parts I laughed and I smirked a couple of times, but nothing that really kind of brought back to what we're used to this franchise giving us in terms of humor. Lacked a lot of heart, to be honest with you. The emotional aspect just wasn't there as it was in the first one. And there's some good ideas here. Even the lore behind this creature or whatever it is, entity, ghost, whatever you want to call it. It was interesting, but ultimately, and if you've seen the trailer, put it that way, you see that the last villain, this whatever it is, the threat, the last act of the film only, and he may get maybe 10-15 minutes of screen time at best. And what you see in the trailers is exactly what you see in the third act, and they kind of just, that's all there is, right? The beach scene, the water, and everything freezing up. That's basically the beginning of the third act, and that's all you get. They've already shown us everything. There's nothing new there, so that's kind of a letdown. But which seems a little bit underwhelming in a sense that until that point, just a lot of, them running around, figuring out what's going on, learning about the stuff, and not a lot is happening for that matter. And there's a new character, this kind of ghost-like character, which was interesting, and they could have gone somewhere more with it than they did. It just ended up being some plot device by the end of the film. So overall, it just lacked, I guess, like vision, lacked a lot of fun, and which I'm used to seeing from this franchise, what the first one really gave us. And again, it just, even like the mayor, right, who was the original mayor back in the '84 version. Walter Peck is his name. I think William Atherton is the actor. But either way, he's still the mayor 40 years later. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. It's not like a limit on how many times you can run for mayor and what the number of terms. I guess 40 years. I guess not. So he stood around. He seemed like he's just there as, hey guys, remember me from this film? And the Stay Puft characters are back. Remember us from this film? Bill Murray, remember us from then? And the music and just everything just seems so many references to the old films, and just it seemed like almost too much. That they were trying too hard, just really focusing on the new characters. And I like with Ernie Hudson's character, there was a point to him. Even Dan Aykroyd's character, there's a point to him, to the story, why they were there, unlike Bill Murray. But again, that's not the biggest complaint of the film. It just was lackluster, ultimately, disappointing. Not the worst film I've seen, not a terrible film. If you're a true fan of the series, I think you might get some enjoyment out of it. I didn't hate it. It was just okay, mildly entertaining. That being said, if you're not a true fan, if you're just a casual fan of the franchise or whatever, I would probably recommend you guys seeing it, when it comes out at home. It might be better off than going to theaters and forking over, $800, what the theaters cost these days, to take your family to go see. Ultimately, just again, it was a little disappointing, not horrible, but again, not a movie I can honestly tell you guys to rush out to the theaters and go watch. That being said, if you just go watch it, I hope you like it. Comment below, let me know what you guys thought. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.